The ideas and opinions expressed in the Black Shirt podcast are not necessarily the ideas and opinions of our sponsors.
But here we are.
Yeah, hey, what's up?
Look at this, I'm wearing a black shirt today.
Another episode of the Black Shirt Podcast with your host, Clint Baker, Dirk Gage. That's right.
And sometimes Dustin Strapp.
And sometimes. Before we get started, we want to like, share, and subscribe. Yes, like, share, subscribe. And if you want to help out the channel, take a second to share this with your friends on social media and click the notification bell so we can let you know about future videos. That's right.
Yeah.
Boom.
And also,
this is
maybe if you guys wanted to buy me some nachos.
That's right.
That'd be cool.
Dirk, this is very exciting right now. Aside from my green screen difficulties, we're doing something that is going right now, and that is we are live streaming to both YouTube and Facebook at the same time. We started on Facebook, and then we got a little love from YouTube, so we started deciding to move our channel over there and put a little love into that. And then I said, what are we doing, man? We need to hit both. So now we're doing both.
Why not both?
Yes. Both Facebook and YouTube at the same time. So,
we also are also in a newspaper. If you want, you can look in a good old-fashioned, regular, old-timey paper newspaper. I feel like there's newer apps, and we're on Facebook and YouTube, guys. You heard of those?
There's a couple of new ones that I'm thinking about getting into that are
like Sklern.
There's one called Stereo that I've heard where people can.
I heard Stereo was good.
Yeah, and there's another podcasting one that I can't think of the name of it right now, but we'll get into that next week. First, I needed to master the restream situation, and then we can get into that. Well, did you get a chance to check out Coming to America?
Nope.
You didn't watch it? I
did not. I was busy dealing with some weird HR stuff.
I saw it. It was good. It started out great, and it was it kind of felt for me. It kind of fell off a little bit, and you know how I feel about stuff, so that probably tells you something. But
that means I won't even fucking watch it.
It was fun, and they did a lot of fan service. They
don't try to save it now.
No,
just
dude,
let it. Just kidding. No, let it die. Okay.
It was cool. Like all the characters that you wanted to see were in there. They did that, and it was good. And I watched Kevin Smith's podcast, the Fat Man
Who's
podcast.
That guy with the giant finger, Arsenio.
Yes,
that guy must have been really, really stoked that they were making this movie. Because how long has it been since Arsenio Hall got a check?
Dude, he was like, woo, 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 woo. I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. No,
bullshit.
But
I'd have been like, y'all, I got to do the thing. We're trying to bring it back.
Dude, all the characters were awesome, and like all the makeup, and it was really fun. And
they go back to the royal penis is clean, Your Highness.
They did with a twist. With the twist, it was pretty.
It's his son instead, and he's like, I'm gay.
It was pretty much all of the tricks that they did them again, which is what you want when you go to see Coming America 2. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And
true. I guess it's Coming to
America, or however they did it. But it was and the barber.
Because you just said Coming America 2.
Coming to, and never mind.
Handele Fungazo. What's that guy's name that's played? Never been Handele Fungazo. Is that it?
Mahershala. Yeah, the barbershop guys were in it. A bunch of characters. There was some new stuff too. It was fun. So yes.
Hey, do me a favor. Give me Bill Cosby saying Mahershala Ali.
Mahershala Ali. You see, guard. I'm just kidding. Yeah. So I mean, I would just say,
Yeah. If I'm high and
if you're bored and you're not doing anything, yeah, watch it. If you're, smoke weed, get real high and watch it. You'll have a good time.
Keep right. Yeah.
So it was cool. Sure. It was cool.
All right.
Also, people hold these things to a standard. Like, movies were different back in the 80s. The way movies were written and stuff. It's like, you know what I mean? I don't know. I think people are trying to elevate things too much. It was a dumb movie back then that was fun, and the way
that you remember things is not the way that they actually were.
Yeah, it's not like the writers of Game of Thrones sat down and you know what I mean. It's
probably Arsenio where he was like, guys, come on, I haven't gotten paid since 1998. And can we please do a sequel to one of the 3 movies you let me be in.
Speaking of that, Wesley Snipes was in it, and he was badass, and it was a ridiculous role to see Wesley Snipes doing. So, you know what I mean? So I was glad he got paid too, because I like Wesley Snipes, you know?
I miss Wesley Snipes.
Yeah, me too.
Man. The world was a different place when Wesley Snipes was like really in it. It was always never, it was like you got 2 Dennis Rodmans.
Well, let's see.
He was like the bad boy of Detroit, but in the movie world, not in basketball. You know what I mean?
And he was
like choking people and not paying his taxes and like fucking strippers and
he was a
like
kick-ass Blade. He was kick-ass like that.
It's like not fair that they won't give it to him. Like I'm genuinely upset by it. If like, or he at least better get a damn cameo
or
like,
something. You know,
y'all aren't gonna give me a fucking cameo. Like I basically kickstarted the Marvel universe, really.
Yeah.
Like, he was the big, that movie was like the big bang of all of this. Like it wasn't like immediate, but you trace it back to the beginning and it's like Blade and the first Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
Were like really kicked off the whole thing. And even I would say Blade outdid Spider-Man.
And I'm pretty sure the first Spider-Man movie was a Sony film anyway. I think Blade was the first MC
Blade was actually a
Marvel made film. Yeah. So
and it was dope. And now they're talking about doing it without blood. Like Jesus H.
Yeah, PG-13 on Blade. Come on, gang. That's
what happened? What comes out of the guys when you cut them with your Daywalker sword? That's like the action figure. How are you going to sell any action?
It's going to be green.
Like,
it'll be green blood. It'll be okay.
Oh,
It'll just be an alien invasion. So there'll be scrolls or something, and it'll be like green blood. Yeah.
Whatever.
All right. Well. Speaking of video,
I feel like isn't Morbius R though?
I don't know, but that's Sony anyway.
Oh,
and who knows how much they'll tie into it? It might be a thing like Venom. That's same sort of the same universe.
Like Morbius and Blade are like, it's like they're like next door neighbors.
I heard. So. I'm not familiar with the team, but it's like the bloody bad guy Avenger team guys. You know what I'm talking about?
It's the Dark Avengers, I believe, or no.
But Blade and Morbius are both on this.
Like Blade, Morbius, and like Frankenstein, and like
they're talking about. I've heard that
Wolfman and Nick Fury. Oh, it's Nick Fury's Howling Commandos, maybe.
It might be. But there's. Yeah. I've heard that I've seen chatter. I don't know if it's just fan chatter or real. Really thinking about doing it, but of doing that in the future, and that's what they're kind of building up with, doing Morbius and Venom and all these different things, so they can put them all together and have a dark adventure team. But speaking of video games, Henry Cavill, there is talk about Henry Cavill.
Doing the Mass Effect.
Yes, and he did a thing on Twitter where
he's a big nerd. He's like
super big nerd.
He's like a big PC gamer, and so like I bet he played Mass Effect. Mass Effect's a cool game, but the third one really sucks.
So he puts out this photo. And it just said secret project, and people were like, whoa, and it's just him with all these papers and all this stuff. And some guys, they took the photo and they used this software called Focus Magic,
where they could like zip in and see what the words were.
Yes, and they went, and it turned out to be a bunch. Like if you're a Mass Effect fan, you know what these words mean, and so pretty much kind of spilled the beans. I don't know if he did it on purpose or if or if he didn't think people would figure it out. But they did. So that's pretty cool. So there's talk about that, and then. And which makes him the busiest guy in show business with the all the stuff that he's been doing, The Witcher and everything else, and
he's even famous for like a Women's Day video right now, like where he like did something nice, like he's all over the internet for that. It's like Henry Cavill's having the best week ever. Yeah,
well, this takes us into Marvel news because there is talk about him being up for Captain Britain. They don't know that this for sure. He's character
actually British, right?
He's really British,
he would crush that.
He would crush it. And the other thing is that's people supposing that that's what they want him for. They don't know, but basically the talk is that they're kind of courting Henry Cavill, and apparently his charge is
there's like four roles that he would do.
Yeah,
it's not like he could play every single Marvel character. Yes, he could. He could have been. If you told me Henry Cavill was Ant-Man, I'd have been like, okay.
Yeah, he could pretty much play anybody, and dude's ripped.
He didn't. Henry Cavill's Iron Man. Yeah, fine, great. That would have worked too. He's Captain America. Cool. Okay, you can make him any of the fucking Avengers that you want, except maybe Hawkeye.
Pretty much, he's got the stone jaw of a superhero. He is a human superhero.
But Captain Britain is cool. That's Brandon Bragg, I think, and he's like it's hilarious because there's a Captain Britain Corps. They're kind of like Green Lanterns, but if they were only British. And because like England is so old that they have like the Arthurian legends go back so long that it's like it's kind of a generally accepted concept that England is like the defenders of the realm, like, you know, with Excalibur and versus like evil magic and stuff like that. And so that's like, I feel like he is kind of like right in line to fit between like Doctor Strange, Captain Marvel, and then you have Captain Britain, who is like, because England's so fucking old that it's like, oh yeah, Captain Britain is actually one of Earth's like oldest protectors. Like, and it's like you could say King Arthur was Captain Britain. You know what I mean? Like he was Captain Britain before they decided that he wore a cool Union Jack costume.
Yeah.
So it's like you are a descendant of this descendant who was a descendant of King Arthur, and they have protected the realm of Earth for thousands of years. And the ancient wizard Merlin fighting evil forces. You know, like that's very. And then a football team gets sent from back in time. Do you remember King Arthur and the Knights of Justice? That show was the shit. That show was the shit. It was like, oh, a football team gets sent back in time to like replace King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table.
I never saw that one.
So, dude, it's so niche. Like, so it had this like metal ass theme song too, and yeah, it was just such a cool concept. You were like, a football team gets sent back in time so that the like villagers and like people of England don't know that the real King Arthur and the knights have been kidnapped, and so. Yeah, and then they just like the way they won battles was by like doing football plays that like no one in mid-century England had ever seen before. Where it's like, we're gonna do like a fucking quarterback fake, and I'm gonna punch this guy in the face. It's like, okay, cool. Sorry, off track there, but it was tight.
That's funny, man. We got Chris Klink commented in here. He goes, "Sorry, I'm late." So we got
What's up, Chris Klink?
We got a little Chris up here on the screen. Yeah, sorry, I'm late, and then. Let me move this over here. Then he also says, just so we know, Dirk's sound is night and day better. Good job, dudes.
Yeah. Had the wrong mic plugged in last week. Sorry, I'm an idiot.
Hey man, we're getting I even just lost the border on your photo here, so we're getting our technical quirks taken care of. But we got some DC news.
Ooh, Snyder Cut? We're going Snyder.
Yeah,
Snyder Cut.
First of all,
that's like next fucking week.
Yeah, and also from what I'm understanding, Henry Cavill's going to continue to do Superman. That's the word out there. But
yeah, they're not actually going to get rid of him.
Yeah, and or he's not going to stop doing Superman. There was some wondering if he was going to not be interested in doing it anymore. What's funny is that
what universe do you live in where you would like? Nah, I'm Superman.
I'm good.
You guys know Maybe you've heard of him. I don't really feel like being everybody's favorite guy anymore. I'll see you later.
Well, you could get tired of Warner Brothers not having their shit together. That's what you could get tired of.
True, because you could get tired of being in like subpar movies about the easiest character in comic books to write about.
And also there's all kinds of Warner Brothers drama right now. Like yesterday we had the Snyder Cut got leaked on
I heard about this on fucking HBO.
On HBO, and it was under Tom and Jerry, and it's probably some little kid but some assistant or somebody that loaded the wrong file into the wrong folder. But if
that's like winning the fucking lottery. Imagine you're like, what are we going to watch? Well, let's see if this Tom and Jerry movie sucks, and you fucking pops up and it's the Snyder Cut.
Yeah,
and you just watched it.
They only caught 2 hours of it though, and then it cut off.
It's 3 hours. It's like 3 hours long.
Yeah, it's like I think 3.5 or 4 hours long. It's long. It's long. I think it's long.
But still, I mean, surely it's unfortunate. No one has any. I would love to see some leaked pictures and stuff from that. Well, I think that they released that. There's a trailer that came out like not too long ago, and I think that's like Damage Control. They're like, "Where's a new trailer?"
Well, there's been a lot of drama where WB apparently had wanted to fire or get rid of Snyder
Cyborg.
to begin with way back, and then they had the tragedy happen with his daughter, and then he ended up leaving the project.
They felt bad for trying to fire him.
And so they just left it alone. Then the internet does what they do, and the legend of the Snyder Cut is born. And so then they come forward, and they never decided to do the Snyder Cut. This isn't a Warner Brothers thing. AT&T, their parent company, who owns HBO Max, said,
it's like, hey, there's a bunch of people saying something about a Snyder Cut. Are you guys on that? And they're like, no, we got rid of that like 8 months ago. And he's like, yeah, well, you're going to do it.
Yeah, they're like, the Mandalorian seems to be doing pretty well on Disney. What do we have that's kind of like that? They're like, Snyder Cut, the internet's going crazy. So let's give them $70 million. That's nothing to us. They can finish the movie, and they did. And now it was going to be a series.
And now Joss Whedon made I guess he finished the original, right? Like the one we saw?
Yes, he finished the original, and he completely.
So it's like now he's canceled.
He's canceled.
So it's like, well, great. We get to like erase the fact that he made that first one, and it's like woke justice. Well, and it's like, no, it wasn't. You just wanted to make more money.
Well, the other weird thing is the execs are. There's reports out, and it might be all.
Dude, you want to make a parody bullshit TV show with me called Woke Justice, where it's like Dog the Bounty Hunter, but instead he's like yelling at people for not using pronouns correctly?
Yeah, I'm down. That sounds fun.
Like that would be pretty good.
Woke Justice.
Woke Justice. When people hurt other people's feelings, I'll be there.
Dude, anything with that is like Dog the Bounty Hunter, I'm in. Like I'm in for that. But like what's interesting is with Warner Brothers that they apparently don't like this. It is not supposed to go along with any of the new DC stuff. It's not supposed to. I was
watching that trailer. I was like, there's so much new shit in there that I was like, dude, wait, what? I was like, y'all are bringing Darkseid in, and I was like that because like my whole thing with the Snyder Cut was I was like, it's just gonna be like a fucking extended edition of the original movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's what it felt like. No, I saw the trailer today, and it was like Deathstroke's there,
yep,
and like Nightmare Batman, and they're teaming up, and Flash has like wacky future space backwards in time armor, and then Darkseid is there, and they like obviously bit on the Thanos thing with Darkseid.
Yeah,
like he's basically just fucking Thanos, like they might as well have gotten Josh Brolin to do it.
Well, it's like it's almost like Josh Snyder is like, okay, all right, let's just screw everything up. Be like,
I'm just gonna fuck the whole thing up.
Here's everything fans want to see. But what's funny is that the execs are I think are a little bit annoyed because this isn't supposed to be canon with all the new DC stuff that's coming out. This is like its own thing.
The power play of his, where he's going to be like, "Mine was better, so now y'all better change your fucking universe."
I think that's exactly what's going to happen. And there's
like, and what a flex that would be! Like, oh, I made my movie so good that you had to change all your other movies to be like mine.
Yeah, that's nuts. And there's talk that they possibly, some people, and of course it's internet people doing what internet people do, thinking that maybe like the execs or somebody in Warner Brothers leaked that on purpose. They're like, here, let's sabotage him, like just to oops. It's like
I was doing sabotage.
Hey, that's I would have gone in with you if I don't know what you're doing. But yeah, like, oops, what happened? Your movie accidentally leaked.
4-hour movie.
Yeah.
Some dorks were watching Tom and Jerry. I heard Tom and Jerry talk in this. Is that true?
I have not seen Tom and Jerry.
I don't want that.
I heard Tom and Jerry look like Batman and Aquaman. It's really weird.
It's Jason Momoa now as Tom and Jerry.
So that's a whole bunch of drama going on over there. So that's why I say, like, man, these guys can't get it together. I'm Superman. Maybe I'll just go to Marvel and just get out of here. Like, I don't know.
I mean, everybody knows. Marvel's got that sweet cheddar, and like, imagine being, dude, like Paul Rudd. Do you know how much you should have got paid to be Ant-Man? Like, let's be real.
Yeah.
You should have got paid like $50.
I think
to be like some of these characters, like Falcon.
Yeah,
like if you had done these movies in the 90s, they would have been like, yeah, your character blows. He's like, nobody likes him, so we're gonna give you like $20 to be in the movie, and they'd be like, Okay, I guess I'll take the $20.
I heard Ant-Man got like 8 million to be Ant-Man, and
I'm sure.
yeah, Henry Cavill wants 10, I think, to be whatever he is, whatever he ends up being.
I go to Marvel and I just like sit down with a production team and they go, yeah, you kind of look like Amadeus Cho. Do you think we could make an Amadeus Cho spinoff of the Incredible Hulk? And I would say, of course, if it has me in it, yes, I do. I think you would be an awesome idea. Let's get that developing. And so, yeah, I think that if Henry Cavill knows which way the fucking wind blows.
Yeah.
And he's like, DC is either going to get busy living or get busy dying when it comes to these movies. And that like the peak of that is going to happen here in the next like year. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because like I think DC can mess up like 2 more times before everybody's going to be like, okay, we're done. Like we're not seeing these movies anymore.
It's starting to look like Walter Hamada is like the Kathleen Kennedy of freaking DC. Like these guys just keep screwing up and they keep extending their contracts. You know what I mean?
I know, and he's like an old school guy. Like he ought to know. Like, okay, fuck it, let's just get Batman and Superman as best friends beating guys up for a film. What's wrong with that? Let's make a quick $80 million, guys. And then once we've made like 4 movies like that, then you can get away with like the high production art piece. Like, ooh, was it a dream or wasn't it? But see, then you see Joker and you're like, damn, y'all crushed that.
Yeah. Well,
like, how are they so hit or miss?
I have a feeling the new Suicide Squad with what's his name? Gunn? James Gunn is going to be good.
No, that is going to be good, but that's an HBO. Or no, that's a movie.
That's a movie. He's got a spinoff. He's got the Peacemaker spinoff.
Peacemaker's getting the TV show. Yeah.
Well, speaking of Falcon and speaking of TV shows,
Falcon and Winter TV show.
Yeah, Falcon Winter Soldier's coming up, man. It's the day after Snyder Cut comes out. So it's like, dude, we're getting all the stuff.
Clever Marvel and DC infighting there, where it's like, oh, our release date is March 19th, the day after the Snyder Cut. And so it's like, yeah, it's gonna. They're competing. You know what I mean? They're always competing.
Yeah, there was an article that and
like actors stand to profit from this because you can just all you have to do. If I want a Marvel job, all I have to do is go get a job in a DC movie.
Yeah,
and eventually, and vice versa.
Yeah,
eventually the other one is going to come knocking and be like, "Hey, you want to take the Pepsi challenge and try a fucking RC Cola instead of a fucking Mr. Pibb?"
Yeah, you're a B team guy at Marvel. You want to be the A team?
No, they go, hey, here's a wall full of dudes we haven't made yet. Pick out one that kind of looks like you, and we'll give you a fucking miniseries. And it's like, oh well, shit. DC told me I had to be the Atom. Like don't you see how that's fucked up? The one guy was Superman in a movie, and then he was the Atom on a fucking TV show.
Yeah,
like as an actor, that is a significant downgrade.
Yeah, but it was a little time difference, and they looked at the that Superman movie as a flop. So he's probably lucky to have gotten work. Okay, it just means
but that's your prime candidate where you're like, hey, you ever heard of DC movies or Marvel movies? We think you could be I don't know, fucking Dr. Ivo. What's up? You think you could be Dr. Ivo? And he's like, yeah, I mean, if you're paying me $8 million, I can be anybody you want.
Yeah.
That's kind of the job.
I think it means he just had a good relationship with somebody at DC. And there's
he had like a development deal.
It was probably somebody's pet project, and they were bummed that the Superman movie, Superman Returns, kind of failed, but they really liked the guy because he's a nice guy. So like 10 years later, they give him a WB or CW show and stuff. But man, I'll take any of that stuff. I'll be
for sure. But it's like when you're at the boss at work, and then you get demoted to like mailroom guy, but everybody knows you used to be the boss. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh, hey, it's Tony. What's up, Tony? And you're like, hey guys. And like, you're not being the manager anymore. It's like, nah, they got me in the mailroom. It's like, just fucking go get a new job. Like it's miserable. Everybody looks at you like, yeah, you're the Atom now, bro.
They even play.
Nobody even knows Ray Palmer.
They even played with that in the show with the multiverse, and they had multiple Supermans. Sure. Yeah. They had multiple, and he was one of the multiple Supermans and stuff. Which is kind of fun. Cool. This is a nice tipping of the hat, you know.
Tip of the hat.
Well,
Emilio.
Well, did you finish WandaVision?
Finished WandaVision, got the whole. Still hated it. Didn't love it.
Still hated it, huh?
Ready, I'm really just ready for him to get out of it. Like I'm ready. Like I get that it's a vehicle to something else.
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay, like I don't need a second season of WandaVision. If they never did it,
They're not going to do that, dude. They just wanted that show to explain Wanda's backstory, and they needed to make her the Scarlet Witch, and they needed to explain the backstory. There's been a lot of talk about this, and I kind of like
now. What's his name? Brian Bellamy, or what's the guy that plays Vision?
Paul Bettany.
Paul Bettany. Now, does he get paid twice for being both Visions?
That is an excellent question.
See, I might need to be an agent because these are the kinds of things that I'm thinking about. Where I'm like, I'm doing more work and I'm wearing a different costume. Do I get paid for both of those?
And then also every time somebody says Ultron, he also gets a check. Like he's like, I'm Ultron, or not Ultron, but Jarvis. Yeah, every time he says Jarvis, he also gets a check.
Ultron was James Spader. Yeah, I'm like what a choice that was. He's so good.
He's getting a check for that.
I watched a video of him doing like the motion capture stuff for Ultron, and it is like he's still terrifying just as a guy in a motion capture suit talking the way he talks.
Duh. James Spader.
I wish I could do that. Guy's like the luckiest actor in the world.
Dude,
he had like a good role. He did like 2 good movies and then didn't do anything forever. And then it was like, you're in The Blacklist, The Office, and then now you're Ultron. And it's like, oh shit.
He's part of that like Brat Pack that was like all like the 80s, The Diner. I think it was The Diner was the movie, the 80s movie.
Like him, Christian Slater.
Yeah, and Paul, it was like Paul Reiser.
Yeah.
And
I love Paul Reiser.
Yeah. So, but yeah,
fucking awesome.
But Blacklist, dude. Did you ever get into Blacklist?
I watched this. I dabbled.
Come on, man. I watched like 7 seasons of that show. That show is bad ass.
I liked it, but it was not a show that I could just like. I can't do shows like Law and Order either, where it's like non-episodic kind of like. Yeah. It's just that I don't know. I don't like cop dramas.
Once you get into this show, it's kind of like watching Burn Notice. Every episode is exactly the same. It's a different situation, but it's the same.
I know where the hard cuts are going to come in.
Yeah.
Like as far I'm like, oh, it's going to do like a side pan to like a coffee cup, and then it's going to like dude in sunglasses over here spying on somebody, and you're like, okay, I get it. I've seen CSI. I know how this goes.
It's like House is the same way. It's like every episode's the same.
I'll tell you one of those that I thought was going to be like that, and it wasn't. Was Hannibal?
Oh, and
the show that's based on the Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, I never saw that one.
It feels like that's what that's going to be, and dude, it is not. It's real good, and that's Mads Mikkelsen too, your guy.
Yeah.
You love that dude, so you should check that out.
Yeah, he's awesome. I'm gonna be talking about him in a minute, but well, here's my take on the WandaVision, and I feel like people have gotten a little bit spoiled with stuff. I'm like, if you watch some of the movies that we had 10 years ago and 20, you know what I mean? Like, and now everything is just super badass, and they get this expectation, and you have the internet all talking, and if it doesn't do exactly what they want or speculate, then people get pissed off. Like the Game of Thrones ending, you know what I mean? Like, but the Game of Thrones ending kind of bit it a little bit, but you know what I mean? But
I didn't really care about WandaVision because it just kind of felt like a nothing burger. Like it could have been a magazine.
Yeah. Well,
you know what I mean? Like that's what it felt like. Where it was like you could have done a comic book, like you could have done like a 1 page or like a 1 issue fucking book that covered all this shit.
It kind of was, dude. It's a 30-minute Disney TV show, and the deal is that so much time has passed with no content coming out because of the apocalypse.
That's what I'm saying.
And so
filler, and it feels like filler.
And it was going to be. It was really just to explain the stuff, and we should have had movies between now and then, and we didn't. And then all of a sudden, people are finally getting some content, and then they're like holding it on this big level.
They're holding it to the level of the rest of
Endgame. This is not Endgame. It's like a freaking TV show.
But again, I just felt like nothing happened in it. It was just like a bunch of talking.
The magic, the magic didn't really.
One good witch fight.
Yeah,
and then like one Vision versus Vision fight, and like Quicksilver ran 3 times, and that's the show.
Well, the deal about the show is like it's a different way to digest Marvel content too, because it's not a movie. This was a TV show, and they get little nuggets here and there, and they would misguide people. There was little red herrings and little things.
See, after this, watch. I guarantee you, Falcon and Winter Soldier is not going to be anything like.
No, it's going to be.
It's going to probably kick ass.
It's going to be like Tango and Cash or something. You know what I mean? It's going to be like, you know. But the fun of this show, people got butthurt because they didn't get mutants and stuff like but
not yet.
Not yet. It's coming. We're going to get into that.
A conjoiner with Marvel with Doctor Strange, like 100%. But I get it. They had to set it up to where she would be in the place where they need her for Doctor Strange. Like I totally understand. But it was filler flavored.
Yeah, what people, but the things that people are bitching about is the misdirection, but that's what made it fun until the end. Yes, and the funny thing is the boner guy that you know what I'm talking. That was
fake real Quicksilver.
All that was a tipping of the hat to Richard Stabone from Growing Pains, and the director who directed this whole show. He was even on.
They did that where they replaced a guy in the middle of the series with another actor.
It was all
just acted like it didn't happen.
It was all fun, and that guy that directed the show
now because of the post that you're talking pre-Snyder Cut, my dude. Post-Snyder Cut, people are just going to bitch about it enough that the guy's going to be like, "Can we make him come back as Quicksilver? Is that something we can do?"
They are. That's happening, and I'm gonna get to that if you let me finish my spiel real quick. Basically, the guy was in sitcoms. The guy was an 80s child actor. He was in sitcoms, and this whole thing was a tipping of the hat to a lot of that. So people getting pissed off that this guy, the recasting just like Will Smith's mom, and it's like all of a sudden there's a new guy and nobody even notices. You know, that's a joke. The boner thing was a callback to Richard Stabone from Growing Pains. It was all in fun, and people took it really seriously and got butthurt about it. But it wasn't that big a deal. And then things like not having Mephisto or Nightmare and things like that. If you watch the ending, there's some things that she was reading the Darkhold and astro projecting herself at the ending. I don't know if you watched the post credits ending.
I saw it.
Yeah, for one, they got Doctor Strange music playing in the background.
Yeah.
And then two, you got the kids' souls after they're already supposed to be destroyed. You could
out like, "Help, mommy, help me."
Yeah. So there might be some of the Mephisto, their souls are part of Mephisto or something. There's still room for things like that. They just didn't put it in the TV show. And what I heard was because Kevin Feige still doesn't trust TV shows, and he doesn't want to put a lot of the stuff into the TV shows because he's scared that people are going to not see them and they're not going to know what's going on when they get to the movies. So he's just doling out a little bit of the stuff and telling some stories that aren't going to get told on the big screen. And that's all this show was. And people are like freaking out about it. But they just need to chill out and wait because we've got the next show coming next week, and then we got Doctor Strange coming, and you're going to get all this stuff that you've been hoping for. So everybody chill the fuck out.
This show is over so that we never have to talk about it again. That's where I am.
Dude, I really enjoyed it. And
blah blah WandaVision.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Like I enjoyed.
I wanted to. Trust me, I'm one of the 7 people on the planet that liked the Vision.
Yeah.
Before these movies came out, it just was very very meh to me. And like again, that's probably because I do have like a pretty deep comic book understanding.
Right.
So I don't need you to lead me to water. I know I can apply the context.
Yeah. Well,
and most people just like, I saw that last movie.
Yeah, they don't know who her kids are. They don't know about White Vision. They just know what they saw in Endgame. You know what I mean? Like,
what I think is that when Scarlet Witch was reading from the book has like it opens a portal to the like it's kind of like when in Lord of the Rings, when you put the ring on, Sauron can see you.
Right.
It's kind of the same thing where it's like if you're using dark magic, all the like evil forces can see that you're doing it. So I bet that what happened is she's connected to the multiverse of madness. Ooh. Actually connected to it.
Yeah.
And that she's hearing her children from another dimension, and like the portal, they can see her from there because it's like they're in a hell world, like with Mephisto or something like that.
Yeah, and she is a Nexus level being. And for those of you at home who don't know what that is, that means you exist. There's not a bunch of you in different multiverses.
Right.
There's one of you that exists in all of the multiverses. That means you're super powerful being. So she's sitting there, like you said, probably searching out for her kids or just hearing them and trying to figure out how to pull them in. And
it's just like I said, like Lord of the Rings, where it's like when you do that, it brings a bunch of attention to you from the cosmic forces, you know, like where they can't see you all the time because you're a Nexus level being and like you're strong and shit. But like if you do certain stuff, like if Doctor Strange does a certain ritual or uses a certain spell, then that tells Dormammu that he's in Costa Rica or whatever, you know what I mean? Like he's like, oh, I know where you're at now. He just summoned a fucking Mai Tai.
Well, even like Agatha, she could sense that there was stuff going on. That's why she showed up. Yeah. And also, people were saying, hey, why didn't Doctor Strange show up? Well, you know, they were supposed
busy.
No, there were supposed to be 10 episodes of this thing, and there's rumors that he was supposed to show up, and they said, you know what, we don't want to take away.
That Feige just chopped it.
He did. He didn't want to take away from the TV story he didn't want to steal their thunder with Doctor Strange. So they said, let's just leave that separate. This is about Wanda, and then we'll do that. We're going to tell that story next month, you know, which is cool.
It would have been cool on the Halloween episode if there had been like a guy dressed as Doctor Strange. You know what I mean? Like just like as a costume, because you know how like everybody was wearing costumes in the Halloween.
Oh yeah,
episode.
yeah.
Like it would have been cool to have a guy like trick-or-treating or like a little kid Doctor Strange trick-or-treating. Like that would have been a neat little boop. But what are you going to do? Somebody
said there was a like a Mephisto balloon or something in the background, like at the circus or whatever, at the carnival, Halloween carnival thing. I didn't see it, but I heard that in some podcast or something I was listening to. But anyway, well, since you're done with WandaVision, let's move on. Well, we're not going to move on quite yet.
Forever.
We're not going to move on quite yet because there's talk that Doctor Strange 2 will feature Wanda's Evan Peters as Ralph Boner.
I just got a text. In WandaVision renewed for 9 seasons.
And they're gonna feature Ralph Boner in freaking Doctor Strange 2. How is that gonna play out? So people are like, is this guy the secret the guy in the government program?
What I think their fucking plan is that they're hedging their bets with stuff like the Snyder Cut,
right?
Because now Snyder Cut changed everything. So what they're doing is they're like, we'll put both in the movies, like we'll make both a possibility, and then whatever the one that people bitch about the least is the one that we'll pick.
Yeah,
and then we can kill off the other ones by being like, oh, he was from another dimension. It wasn't the right one. This is the real right one. Oh, that one was a Skrull. So he's fucking like that doesn't count.
The other
actually. This guy.
The other funny thing too is about like Winter Soldier and WandaVision. They had these things storyboarded and laid out and even filmed a long time ago before all this bullshit came out. You know what I mean? So like people are like, well, how come this and this and this and this actor said this? I'm like, dude, this thing's been laid out for a freaking year. You know what I mean? Like, we just had the apocalypse, remember?
Feige's had a storyboard for
forever, and then nothing came out for a year. So it's crazy. But
we're almost back to the flood of fucking. I mean, remember the good old days when we were taught we had like a new thing to talk about every week, and now it's like WandaVision for like 9 years, and now we're back to the good. That was the first like new piece of media that we had gotten. Yeah, and so it's like we're gonna get some good shit.
Now it's rolling out, dude. All of the starvation is paying off now. And I just pulled up an article. You can't see it on here. It's on the screen, but it says on Screen Geek. They said pretty much what this whole article boils down to is there's a casting site called I can't think of it now. It's
Backstage.
That's what it is. I'm a member of that, so that's really funny.
Yeah, I am too.
Yeah, but anyway, they put out a synopsis. We don't know if it's real or not, but it's a scoop. But for Doctor Strange 2, that says, after the events of Avengers Endgame, Dr. Stephen Strange continues his research on the Time Stone, but an old friend turned enemy puts an end to his plans and causes Strange to unleash unspeakable evil. Yes, sir.
And Doctor Strange 2, The Wrath of Wong. Actually, I think it's Baron Mordo.
You think so?
Because I'm positive it has to be. And like, what's funny is that this is the same. This is almost just Civil War, but with magic.
Yeah.
Where it's like Tony Stark was like, we need to register superheroes, and Captain America was like, no, we don't. And then Baron Mordo's like, we need to get rid of all the magic, and Doctor Strange is like, no, we don't. We totally fucking don't. Like, what are you talking about? And he's like, magic is bad, dog. Like, aren't you a magic man too? And he's like, yeah, but not me. Like, just everybody else. So yeah, got to be Baron Mordo. And like, I didn't know that he was like buddy with Doctor Strange before the movies came out.
Okay. Well, they could also be talking about Wanda, an old friend.
He was always a bad guy in comics. Like, he was never like, I never saw him as a good guy. He was always like very clearly bad. He's dressed like a voodoo witch doctor and like obviously the bad guy.
Well, it's interesting. It's funny when this stuff leaks out like that, because you don't ever know if it's real. They could have just said that just to.
No, that's. I would bet. That's
you bet it? That's the real synopsis. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It tracks too good because it's kind of vague.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't give any specifics.
Yeah.
So it's like, I feel like it's like, one of the good guys turns into a bad guy and now he has to fight him. That happens in movies all the time. You know?
Yeah. I wondered if Wanda was going to go do something for. Here's what I think could happen with her is that people aren't going to ever trust her again. She didn't do it on purpose. She had a breakdown, and then she was in denial of what was going on, and then she finally realized she was hurting people, and then she learned how to use her powers better all of a sudden, and then she released all the people, and she bails, and then people got mad like, hey, why did they just let her go? And I'm like, you fools, you think they could stop her? Like, she could
nobody lets her do anything.
Yeah, she does what she wants. So I was like, I rolled my eyes.
Didn't say like a line kind of like that too, where he's like, you let me be this, like, I'm not choosing it.
Yeah.
He made like a point of that.
Yeah, that's what gave me an eye roll, like an ice cream headache. Every time somebody was like, wow, I can't believe they just let her go with no consequences. Nobody can stop that girl. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's funny.
They just spent 9 episodes telling you that they're like, oh, hey, Sword and Shield are here. And they can't touch this person at all. Like, they're just a bunch of bitches.
Well, I have a feeling that the way it's going to play out, it's kind of like maybe she tries to help later in the future a little bit, and then people aren't accepting of it because they're going to judge her for what she did in the past, and it's going to turn into a kind of a Salem witch kind of a thing to where she's like, she's going to be like, you know what, F you guys, and I'm just going to take care of me because you guys don't like me anymore. And then
that kind of ties back to, what was it, Cracovia? Is that the name of the
Sokovia? Sokovia. Yeah.
I feel like that was kind of that thematically that kind of tracks right, because like people didn't trust superheroes after the Sokovia.
Exactly.
You know, so it's like, so you're telling me that the Sokovia Accords happened and this bitch is from Sokovia and she also just held an entire town hostage with her mind, and you want us now, she's a good guy, and all of the Marvel they're like, yeah, she's on our team now. Yeah, that's just how comic books work. What are you talking about? And the regular people of Marvel, like normal non-powered humans, are going to be like, no, fuck her, dude, get her out of here.
Well, I think that could turn her to the dark side. She'd be like, well, F you guys, I'm going to go find my kids. Yeah, I'm just going to I'm going to go find my kids then. But there's also some I'm going to move to did you hear about the Mutants? I think I told you a little bit about it.
Not happy about it personally, but
this is what the article says. It says,
it's like, why not just call it New Mutants?
Well,
that's an actual team name.
It could just be the developing project name until they name it. They're like, this is just, it's under development. But this is
for you guys that don't know. Oh, you're doing it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just going to read this article real fast. Marvel Studios is reportedly developing a new MCU movie called The Mutants, which could signal a decision to not call them X-Men anymore. Marvel Studios has reportedly started development on a new X-Men movie that might be called I just read that. Thanks to Walt Disney's acquisition of 20th Century. Anyway, it's a project. That means, guys, mutants are coming. Chill out. They're coming. They're on the way.
Yeah, but it might not be the X-Men. You know what I mean? Like there's like 64 different fucking
mutants. Yeah. Well,
they're all loosely affiliated with X-Men, but it's like you got X-Force, Excalibur, fucking, I don't know. There's a bajillion X-Factor.
Well, they got to bring the mutants in, and they're going to be doing the Eternals not long, so they might be introducing Apocalypse or something in the first mutant in that series or in that movie.
Maybe the Eternals make Apocalypse, and then that would be pretty good.
Yeah,
I never thought about that. That would be a great origin for the mutants.
Yeah, it's like bam, okay, now we have an explanation.
Like, this takes place 10,000 years ago, and they made Apocalypse, and then in the current world, because they did that, there are mutants now.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And I saw a thing that just like a little bit of cosmic radiation changed Monica Rambeau into Spectrum or whatever she is. Maybe that's what it takes to activate the gene.
Fucking like Mrs. Dash of fucking
the salt guy. So who knows? So the mutants are coming. Everybody relax. You didn't get your mutant crossover multiverse thing from WandaVision.
That's not to say you're not going to get it in Doctor Strange.
Exactly.
I don't know why anybody would be putting their money anywhere else. That's the one that makes the most sense. It's like, duh, they're going to save it for the Hollywood blockbuster film. They're not going to tease the fucking the like reiteration of because I mean really that's what it is. This is like the second iteration of the Marvel universe. Yeah, where it's like they're rebooting the universe from within the universe. Yeah, they got like a dome within a dome. And so, like, that's like, of course they're going to do it in Doctor Strange. He's going to fucking hear a knock on the door with the end of the movie, and it's going to be like, I think you're in our house or something like that, and like and Charles Xavier is sitting on his fucking porch or something, like. But I don't know, like, it's blatantly obvious that if they do give you the X-Men, that's how they're going to do it. That can't be in some small vehicle. You know what I mean?
I was listening. It was that interview with Kevin Smith that I was listening to, and he was saying he's like, I think they're just going to have been there the whole time, and they just weren't in the story, and then eventually, we were here the whole time. I don't know how weird that is, but.
Like a reverse House of M, because House of M was that they were there and then they weren't. Right. And so it's just like, well, what if they weren't and then they were? Like they were regular people the whole time in the Marvel universe. Like you walked past the guy that is Cyclops. He was just like a guy on the street because he was just living his normal ass life. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, it's so like. But then again, Marvel does also like to be like, yeah, we make you think that we're doing this, and it's actually this. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we got
how many internet clicks do you think you get if the fucking Doctor Strange movie comes out and they're like, no X-Men?
Yeah.
Like, and then they're like, oh, the next movie, first scene, X-Men, right in the fucking front.
And then all the clicks we'll get by making a sensationalized headlines on it on our YouTube videos. We'll get tens of viewers.
That's the still frame. Like, what? No X-Men.
Well,
or this one.
Speaking of other things coming, we also got Thor: Love and Thunder, which is. What do you think of that? Do you have any?
I ride with Taika Waititi till I die, my dude. I don't give a fuck what he does. Yeah. I'm in full support of it. He has never let me down, not once. Everything he's ever made.
Dude, that guy's awesome.
He bit me with What We Do in the Shadows, and I thought like that was genuinely maybe the funniest movie I've seen in the past 10 years. And then when he did Thor Ragnarok, that's my favorite one.
Yeah, me too. That one's so good. I've watched that several times. I'll wake up and not.
Hey guys, name's Korg, made of rocks, obviously. He's just so fucking good.
Well, I've got a picture up on the screen of Taika Waititi and Natalie Portman. She's holding up the hammer, and she's looking pretty buff. This has turned into an internet story about how buff Natalie Portman is, and I started looking, and I did a search for Natalie. I was like, ooh, she's getting in shape for the role. Okay,
let's see the buff.
Yeah, I was like, let's see it. So I was like, oh, and I found this picture of her, and that's a lot more buff than I've ever seen her. And she's got her mask on.
She's flexing. She's a little
pretty.
Bit, though. Yeah, you can see the definition.
And I said, man, well, that's just she didn't know people were looking, and she's got her mask on. She's incognito. Let's look again, and then I found this one, and I was like, hey. And I'm like, that,
Oh.
no, what? And then I looked at another one, and then I was like, what? And I'm like, okay, something is rotten in Denmark here. This is not Natalie Portman. Come on, guys. Yeah, and I just wanted you to ride on that journey with me. That actually happened to me last night. I was like, what am I looking at? I was falling asleep. And so then
That's what sucks about being a comic book podcast guy is like half of the cool shit you see turns out to be completely false.
Yes.
You'll be like, oh, fuck, this guy's this guy. And it's like, oh, no, that was just some dude with Photoshop who was pretty good. Like, I was fooled.
And then the story I found was how Natalie Portman got ripped for Love and Thunder, which led...
He worked out and ate right.
Exactly. Which leads me to... Nerdy tabloid clickbait of the week.
I gave you some horn on that,
Yeah.
too.
Oh,
Was
yeah.
that a real item that you used to like burr, 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 or did you just
I
use,
just
like, a
turn
plug?
a little knob that I have.
Very tight.
Yeah, I don't have a closet that's echoey behind me that I could run and yell in like your closet. Just kidding.
That's a closet.
Well, let's get into some quick Star Wars news. We're at 56 minutes, man. It's time for us to call it, man, because these people are getting bored. My buddy Chris
All right.
is watching. I'm sure he's getting bored. He was like, man, I don't know all this comic book stuff, but I like watching y'all. That's what he said. And
Thanks,
of
Chris.
course, not in that voice, but you don't know me, but I know where you live.
I like to imagine he talks like the guy from Sling Blade.
Yeah, I like biscuits and mustard.
Some people calls it a Kaiser Blade. I calls it a Sling Blade.
Well, we got Star Wars news. Boom. All right, what do we got here? What do we got?
Is it a million things about the Obi-Wan TV show?
I had a whole bunch.
That's what my internet has been for the past like 4 days. It's just everybody being like, "What if this happens in Obi-Wan?"
Oh,
And it's just like,
well, first,
it's like, oh, you know what's gonna happen? He's gonna be like sitting in the desert for fucking 40 days. Like,
first
that's
thing
what he's doing.
that is exactly what it's. I was like, that's kind of a boring idea for a show. We're gonna have a guy in the
Right.
desert for 20 years.
Here's me cooking a rat on a stick. All right, I'm gonna take a nap now. I'll see you later.
Well, getting into the whole Kathleen Kennedy drama with all that, they did a shareholder meeting, and somebody asked, "Hey, are you going to be?" They did. You could tell it was some comic book dorks that did it. They're like, "Hey, are you going to be like firing Kathleen Kennedy and like putting Dave Filoni and like Jon Favreau in charge?" And the guy, it was not a professionally asked question at all. It was pretty funny. It kind of, I was like, oh, that guy, I wish somebody would.
Yeah, it was like an Onion Man. He was asking about it.
I wish somebody a little more like had articulately asked the question, and made it even sound like.
Yeah. Have you ever thought that we are
It was like Butthead called up because it was a phone call. And he was like,
have you ever thought about like firing Kathleen Kennedy?
Yeah, let's fucking fire her.
All right.
yeah. So
That's not bad.
So
Maybe it's
yeah,
not bad.
that was pretty good.
Like, when I was young and had no sense, I took a whiz on an electric fence. It hurt so bad, it broke my balls, and I nearly crapped in my overalls. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So this is what they said. They said, "We are absolutely delighted to have talent like Kathleen Kennedy among our strengths to direct Lucasfilm. Our plan is to have Kathleen Kennedy lead Lucasfilm for several more years." These are the words of Bob Chapek, Disney CEO. So it doesn't sound to me like Kathleen Kennedy's going anywhere. And they blame.
You feel like she's like woke protected, where like
no,
she has
well,
like
here-
she has like woke insurance.
Somebody claimed that she was the one who put Favreau and Filoni together to do The Mandalorian. So by default, it wasn't their creative efforts that made this a hit. It was she did it because she put them together. So she gets the credit for the Favreau genius. So I don't know.
She sucks so
So she can screw up other things as long as she did that. She's going to get all the Mandalorian credit. So there you go.
So dumb. Hey, you know the director and creative artistic vision behind the TV show? That's not who did it. It's the guy that signs the check.
Yeah,
that's the guy who made this.
That's
fuck off.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. And it was funny too. I looked up I was doing a search and another quote came up from like a year or two ago. It was like 18 or 19. And they said the same thing. We are delighted to it. They even used the same phrasing. So I feel like they had somebody, some promotions department write this statement. So, but if they ask you anything, say you're delighted. So that's the
delighted.
deal.
She's delightful.
Yeah. I have a feeling,
people don't even use the word delight.
I know.
That's not a
Who
word
says that
people say.
Well, dude, I'm delighted to tell you about the possibility.
Delightful.
Yes, the possibility of the Thrawn and Ezra series that is possibly in the works.
Yeah, that's tight.
Yes.
It's just going to be like Thrawn trying to get Ezra all the time.
Well, the end of
Catch Me If You Can, but with Grand Admiral Thrawn and Ezra Bridger. Instead.
I don't know what it's going to be, but like spoiler alert, if you haven't finished Rebels, you're sleeping. At the end, Ezra and Thrawn end up he ends up knocking him into they warp into the darkness and of deep space, and they, from what I understand, were trapped out there together for a long time. So basically, it might be just them stuck out in space for a long time, making their way back. But so it says it's now being rumored that Thrawn and Ezra Bridger's Star Wars show is coming to Disney Plus in the not so distant future. This rumor comes via Kessel Run Transmissions, who are often pretty much spot on with their Star Wars scoops. I will say that this is the first I've heard of these plans over at Lucasfilm, but that does not mean that they're wrong. We were told a while back that Lars Mikkelsen is getting to play Grand Admiral Thrawn in live action on the Ahsoka spinoff show. So I win. I get my Lars Mikkelsen Grand Admiral Thrawn. So I win. I just want
you won.
I want everyone to know that.
Where's the
Pew, pew, pew. That's. Hold on. We're doing that. That's happening.
You earned it.
I'm doing this. I
earned it.
I rallied for that. I put out videos and
I saw that.
Yes. This is a party noisemaker? This isn't it?
They're like the internet really wants this Thrawn thing.
It was just Clint Baker.
Just like SNYDER Cut, yeah. Actually, it's just one guy screaming about it.
Yes.
Well, make it anyway.
From the
Fuck
black
maybe he's
from some black shirt, some
maybe he's really important. Just make it anyway, be safe. We got the money.
Yeah. All right. Yes, it's Clint Baker from Ritalin Kids. Oh, let's put him on.
Wait, wasn't they Warner Brothers? Didn't you Warner Brothers?
No, we were in Columbia. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh!
Wait, from what band? Ritalin Kids. Yeah, that was the buzzer.
From the Nacho Boys.
Let's see. So what else we got? And then, okay, real quick, we're pretty much done, but I just wanted the world to see this girl. She's a cosplay chick that did Princess Leia, and she was so fantastic. I still can't believe that's not her. Her name is Maggie.
Was she
fantastic, yes.
Hey.
Maggie Trumfio. I think, speaking of fan casting and the internet going crazy, you guys need to start sharing this on social media. Look her up, give her a share, tweet it, Facebook it, do whatever you do. And here's a close-up. It's like the spitting image. I mean, look at that. She just looks just like her. It's ridiculous.
That's good.
So I don't know if she can act, but she looks great. So we're done. First multi-streamed, multicast episode of the Black Shirt Podcast. So, guys, do us a favor. Like, share, subscribe, do all the stuff that you got to do. Tell your friends about us. And most importantly, tune in every week to see us. I think we're going to start doing this on Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. Yeah. I think that's going to be the deal.
Daytime.
Yeah. So
try to ride a little bit of that algorithm wave, my dude.
That's right. So we're out of here, guys. Thanks.
Give me that fucking sweet outro music.
I will. Dirk, have a good one, man. Thanks for coming on with me like always, and we'll see you gangsters later.
Holler at your boy.
Boom.
Later, y'all.
The Black Shirt Podcast.
That's right.
Podcast.